All right, so now that we put our foil together, we're gonna go out and ride, but before we get in the water, there's a few things to go over before we get our feet wet. Number one, how does this thing fit in the boat? Good question. Basically what you wanna do is put it into your normal wakeboard tower rack, and drop the mast behind the rack a little bit, with the wing pointed down. Get everything tight, and then we're ready to go out in the water. Once we're out in the water, same thing. Take this out of the rack, put it on the back. We'll make sure that we're facing the wings up so we can keep our upholstery intact. Now we're ready to ride, so let's go over a few of the basics here. Line lengths. We have a wake surf option and we have our wakeboard option. For beginning, we're gonna recommend that you take your wakeboard rope and run it all the way out. What that does is it gets you away from the back of the boat, outside of the prop wash, outside of the wakes, and just in the cleanest water that really maximizes the learning environment. So we'll start out with that. So how fast do we go for wake foiling? Well, these wings are designed to operate right around the same speed as their wake surfer, but before you get up to wake surf speed, we want to make sure that you're comfortably on the board and can comfortably control the foil. So we recommend that you go at just above a normal planing speed, which is going to be 4 to 7 miles an hour. Let your rider get used to that speed, get used to the board, get used to engaging the foil, and then slowly build them up to a more comfortable wake surf speed around 10 to 12 miles an hour. So before we jump in the water, you want to make sure you have adequate room around you. You want to make sure the depth, you're not in any shallow water at all. Put the board in the water. Don't throw it in because the board can come back and hit you. So just gently slip it in and then you can hop in and away we go. So our stance is going to be, you want to have your normal kind of wake surf stance. We recommend before you try to foil, you get comfortable with getting up on a wake surfer. That'll make the learning curve a lot easier and you'll progress a lot faster. Your back foot, you're going to want to put right in front of the mast. So about here, and then your front foot's going to go where you naturally would on your stance. Now the more back foot pressure you have is going to create the board to go up, and consequently the wing will go up as well, creating more lift. If you want less lift, you want to rock your stance forward and put more weight on your front foot, and that will create a downward moment for the wing. All right, and so when you get up, the goal is to not engage the foil for your first time. So you're gonna wanna really exaggerate the front foot weight, and when you get up, you're gonna put as much weight forward as you can so that only the board is riding and you're not engaging the foil at any time. Yeah, when getting up, try to get up without the board engaging the foil at all. And try to just ride a little bit while the board is planing. After that, gently rock back on your back foot. Try to get the foil to come out of the water 1 to 2 inches. All right, so how do we fall? Well, first, don't try to be a hero. And what does that mean? That means if you're falling, let it happen. Falling's part of the learning process. Everybody's gonna fall. What we don't want to avoid is falling in weird positions where you're trying to save it, or you're in an awkward balance position and you're trying to correct yourself. When you're in these types of situations, you just want to go with the fall, hold onto the handle a little bit longer than you might normally, and try to get as far away from the board as possible. So let's go ride.